More money than either of them have ever made in their entire lives. But then, in the middle of all this, Drake suddenly hits up a member of his entourage. And he tells him,
"Hey, I'm gonna need you to get a message out to my fans. If I get in trouble in this fight, and I give the signal, I need the fans to jump in and just start swinging."
And his entourage is like,
"Well, what's the signal, boss?"
And Drake is like,
"The signal is when I go."
And Drake's entourage is like,
"Alright, I'll let the fans know."
Meanwhile, Kendrick is over here talking to his crew.
"Hey, go tell the fans that if anyone else jumps in the fight, y'all jump in too."
And Kendrick's crew is like,
Alright.
And then, 6 months later, the big day finally comes. Fight Day. And Drake rented out a public park for the day so they can have the space all to themselves, and literally tens of thousands of people show up. Drake fans on one side, Kendrick fans on the other side, and everyone is waiting there in anticipation. And finally, a black Escalade pulls up, and Drake steps out. And everyone cheers, and he is ready to go. Then, Kendrick rolls up with his entourage, and everyone in the crowd is surrounding them. And Drake steps in the middle of the circle, and Kendrick steps in the middle of the circle, and it is go time. And suddenly, pow! Drake punches Kendrick in the face, and Kendrick falls down, but he quickly gets up, and he tackles Drake to the ground, and then Drake punches him again, and they struggle, and then bam! Kendrick hits Drake with a hard right hook, and they wrestle around. And then, all of a sudden, in the distance, the crowd hears, and that is the signal. And Drake fans know what to do. So they hear this, and kapow! They all go apeshit, and Drake fans all start charging toward the fight, and then Kendrick fans suddenly do too in retaliation, and suddenly they're all throwing hands at each other, and bam, boom, pow, and it's absolute chaos, like a massive Western barroom fight. And while all this madness is going on, Drake, he low-key sneaks away, and he climbs into the back of his Escalade, and his chauffeur hauls ass and drives him out of there. And Kendrick, he low-key does the same thing. And they each flee the park, leaving tens of thousands of fans behind fighting one another. Until police eventually show up and they start making arrests. And as Drake is sitting there comfortably in the back of his Escalade, suddenly his phone rings. And he picks it up, and it's Kendrick. And Kendrick says,
"It worked, brother. Oh, and by the way, congrats on that #1 album."
And Drake is like,
"Let's do it again sometime. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go pick up my girlfriend from detention."